All right, so we're going to start our practice today in child's pose. I'm going to go ahead and make it over to my mat. I'm going to start there with you. Make sure you can see everything here. That will be a good camera angle. All right, so go ahead and bring yourself into child's pose. If child's pose is not comfortable for you, do not feel like you have to come into child's pose. You can just take a seated position. If you are in child's pose with me, there's a lot of options here. So you can bring your knees out wide and let your chest sink down in between. That might feel good to open up the hips a little bit. Or you can bring your knees a little closer together and extend, and you're gonna feel this release maybe a little more in your low back. So pick a pose that feels good for you today, for your body, for your mind. And keep in mind that everything we do in this class is optional. Nothing's a requirement, so do what feels best. This is designed, yoga is really about kind of challenging ourselves, but also supporting ourselves and being where we are. So let's bring our hands over to the right side of the mat. You can walk your hands off your mat and then push your hips in the opposite direction. So you start to feel an opening through your lats, through your ribs, through your obliques. And then walk your hands over to the other side of the mat. All the way across. Push your hips in the opposite direction. Notice your breath here. And see if you can control, just starting to control and regulate your breathing. Come on back to center. And then from here, we're gonna shift up into tabletop position. Bringing your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Go ahead and tuck your toes under and then shift forward. So we're gonna stretch out those wrists a little bit and back. Just moving with the breath here. So inhale, shift forward, exhale, shift back. Take one more of those. Inhale and exhale. From here, we're gonna just turn our hands. We're gonna turn the fingers to face the back of the room and your wrist in the opposite direction. So this might feel pretty intense. If you can't make it all the way around, just come as far as you can. And then we're just gonna rock back and forth again. If you've been working at a computer like me all week, this is an intense stretch, but it feels good also. Like we're gonna take it too far. Rock back and forth. All right, go ahead and bring your hands back to that normal position with your wrist aligned with the front of the mat. Let's take some cat-cow here. Inhale, pulling your shoulders down and back, and then exhale, tucking your chin around the upper back. Again, just moving with our breath. Inhale and exhale. We're gonna do some balancing postures today with some bilateral movements with our arms, and try to throw off our brain a little bit, or I should say challenge our brain a little bit. Exhale and work on our balance. Come back to neutral. All right, go ahead and just go a little bit side to side. Drop your shoulders down. Take any movements that you need here. Feel where you need to create space in your own body. And then let's come back to neutral. Let's take our right foot to the back of the mat. Tap your toe down and then just press your heel toward the mat. So just stretching out through the back of the leg. Take a couple more of those. And then when you're ready, lift that back leg off the mat, trying to keep it in line with the ground, so parallel to the ground, and reach your left arm out, taking a final balance. Reaching out like you're gonna shake somebody's hand, left-handed handshake. And when you take a breath in, now as we exhale, we're gonna pull our knee or our elbow around the upper back. Inhale, reach it out. Take two more, exhale. Inhale. One more, exhale. Inhale. From here, we're gonna take our left hand to the mat, plant it, and we're gonna take our left foot off the mat. So we're gonna be like a little kickstand. Take a side plank variation. Open up through your right hand, reach, extend. We can lift that right leg off the floor. An option here to add a quad stretch. If you want, reach back, grab that foot, pull your heel toward your glutes, and just breathe. Deep breath in. Go ahead and release. Extend and let your right hand make its way back to the mat. Taking your left foot to the back of the mat. Press your heel toward the floor. Just a little rock back and forth. Press, release. Press, and release. Good. When you're ready, lift it off. Engaging those glutes, turning your toes toward the floor. Notice if your hips opening. See if you can close it off here. And then we reach out through our right hand, final balance. This is a challenging posture. It challenges our balance, especially if you haven't been here in a while or if you've never done this before. You might notice that your body's shaking a little bit. That's your brain talking to your extremities, and that's a really good thing. Go ahead and bring your elbow toward your knee. Inhale, reach up. Good. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, reach. Good. Taking one more. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, we reach. Bring your right hand to the floor this time. You're going to bring your right foot off the floor like that little kickstand. Open up into our side plank once again. And then we can lift that left leg off the floor. And then option to reach back. Find your foot with a hand. And add simple quad stretch. Always coming back to the breath. When you're ready, release, extend, release your left hand, release your left knee. All right, we're gonna do a little challenging core work here. We're gonna do 3 repetitions. We're gonna lift our knees off the floor. So push down into your hand, tuck your toes under, and lift your knees just a couple inches off the floor. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release your knees right back down to the floor. Open up, cow pose. Exhale, take a cat pose. Good, come on back to neutral. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, press off the floor. Press into your hand. Notice your breathing might be becoming a little shallow and rapid here because this is hard. Hold on for 3, 2, and 1. Release those knees down. Inhale, pull your heart forward, exhale, round the upper back. Come back to neutral, 1 more. I promise this is one of the hardest things we're gonna do today. Tuck your toes, last one, lift your knees off the mat. Hold for 5. And 1, good. Press your heel to the floor, lift your hips toward the sky, take your first downward facing dog. One at a time. Just notice that space you're creating on the back side of your legs here. Go ahead and lift up through both heels. And single back foot. Making our way into high plank or low plank. So many options. Take a breath in, exhale, making your way all the way down to the back. Slide your hands a little further back, so that you have a 90 angle with your arms. When you're ready, lift knees off the mat. To make sure you're twisting your cervical spine, the neck, bones and muscles. Take another breath, so strong through the back. Exhale, release all the way back down. Tuck your toes here. We're gonna press into the mat and rise up. Plank, come through the knees if you need to. All the way back, downward facing dog. Building some heat. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, lower down, half roll away. Inhale, this time come up into low cobra pose, pressing into your hands. Bring your heart forward. And then exhale, we press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, one more time, shift forward plank. Exhale, lower down, half roll away. Inhale. Maybe come up to an upward facing dog this time. We come up to the tops of the feet. Press it back. Downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. All right, lifting your right leg up and back. Go ahead and stack your right hip on top of the left. Bend your right knee a little bit. Open it up. Exhale. Bring your knee toward your nose. Shift forward. Crunch it in. Inhale, press back. Exhale, bring it in. Crunch. Inhale, press. You've been here before, take one more. Crunch, press. This time we're gonna swing through and plant our hand to the floor, rising up into a high lunge, crescent lunge. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. All right, from here, we're gonna start to load on our front leg. Now, so we're gonna work on some balance work today. So as we shift onto our front leg, we're gonna make our way into warrior three. Bring your arms out to the side. Find your balance, find a focal point. Good job, I love seeing somebody's cameras on today. I love that. Go ahead and lift the floor as gently as possible. Lift those arms up. All right, now we're gonna take our right hand to the hip. We're gonna shift forward, same thing again, but you got this left arm extended. Kind of like the spinal balance, except we're extended on the same side, left arm, left leg. The right hand's off out to the side or on your hip. Go ahead and set it down. Good, now bring your left hand to the hip. We're gonna do the opposite. Just creating challenges for our brain and our balance. Load on that front leg, shift forward. Oh, that one feels harder. Today. Anyway, day to day, it's always different. Take a breath. And then when you're ready, go ahead and sit it back down. Rise up, high lunge. Exhale, go ahead and take a warrior two pose. So your back foot's gonna turn there, parallel to the back of the mat. We're gazing out over our front fingertips. Go ahead and turn your right palm up. Reach up, reach over, reverse your warrior. Take a breath. Exhale, draw your forearm down to your thigh. Reach across, extended side angle. Take a breath. Release your left hand to the mat. Go ahead and lift that left heel off the floor. Rotate through the spine, twist. When you're ready, release your right hand to the mat. Step your right foot back next to your left into your plank position. Come through your flow. Exhale down, half roll away. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg high. Open your hip. Square it off. Knee to nose, exhale. Crunch it in. Inhale, press. Back, exhale, crunch it in. Inhale. Take one more breath here. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. Good, go ahead and swing it through, plant your foot. Rise up, find your crescent lunge. Remember, tucking your tailbone down toward the floor. Or thinking about that cue, bringing your hips toward your ribs. You're gonna feel this opening more in your hip flexors, which for most of us tend to be pretty darn tight. All right, get ready. We're gonna load on that front leg and make our way into warrior three. So you choose your arms. In this first variation, you can have airplane arms, prayer hands, reach up over the top of the head. Find something that works for you, find your balance. And then when you're ready, we're gonna set that foot back down to the floor. All right, this time we're gonna lift the right arm next to the ear. Load on the front leg again. Shift forward. So right arm, right leg extended. Hinging from the hips, one long straight line. When you're ready, bend your knee, softly set your foot to the back of the mat. Switch your arms, extend your left arm, load, and lift off. Find something still steady to focus on. Take one more breath, and then set that foot down. Rise up. Hopefully that's getting a little easier. Inhale. We're gonna exhale here to warrior two. Gazing out over your front fingertips. Relaxing the shoulders. Lengthening through the spine. Turning your left palm up, reach back, reverse your warrior. I love these lateral movements. It feels so good to open up through the side body. We don't do enough of this in our normal day. That's why yoga is so good for us. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm up and over next to your ear. Press down into your right foot and reach through your right hands all the way through the fingertips, creating more and more space along the right side of the body. Take one more breath. Release your right fingertips. And maybe your whole hand to the floor. Lift your back heel. Twist, rotate. Good, take one more breath. Release that left hand to the floor. Go ahead and step your right foot next to your left, making your way into forward fold. Release, relax your head down toward the floor. Your head hang heavy. Let your belly release to your thighs. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And when you're ready, lift halfway, extend the spine. Bring your hands to the tops of your knees, extend. Exhale, release and fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, rise to stand. And then from here, we're gonna step into a straddle position. So you're gonna step your feet out wide. And we're gonna do some squat work and some hip opening from this posture. So our toes are pointed out. We've got a pretty wide distance here, and you can adjust as you need to. Inhale, raise your arms up over top of the head. And then as we exhale, we're gonna draw down into a squat position with cactus arms. Fold. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel the stability from your feet. Tuck your hips toward your ribs to make sure that you're engaging the core. We're not just dumping into our low back. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale. Come back down. This time we're gonna bring our hands to the thighs, and then we're gonna drop our shoulder toward the floor. A lot of times I do this from the ground while we're laying. We're just doing it from a squat. Kind of like a 2-for-1. You might feel this opening in your hip as well. Come on back to center, and then switch sides. Exhale, drop, you dip that shoulder, rotate through the back. Inhale, and exhale, dip the shoulder. Inhale, take one more to each side, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale. All right, press down into your feet, rise all the way to standing. Exhale, come right back down, cactus arms. We're gonna hold here for 10, 9, I'm gonna count you, breathe, 8, 7, 6, 5, feel that strength you're building in the legs, 4, feel the stability of your feet, maybe float your toes up, 3, 2, and 1, hands come to hips, rise up. Go ahead and point your toes forward so that your feet are aligned with the outer edge of the mat here. From the hips, extend forward and release and fold into a straddle. Fold position. Drop your head down toward the floor. Try to release your neck, your shoulders. Let everything relax. And walk your hands out. Lift halfway. So we're gonna bring our hands to the mat. You can bring your right hand right underneath your face, and we're gonna twist and rotate. Wendy's really loving this yoga class today. She's just chilling. She's like Shavasana all day. Go ahead and dip your right hip down toward the floor. You're just gonna let your hips kind of tilt to open up your inner thigh. Release that hand back to the floor. Now rotate to the other side. Left hand's gonna release to the floor. You open up. Take one more breath. Exhale, release, come back to center. All right, same thing here, except this time we're gonna maintain stability in our low back. So imagine you have a yoga block, a glass of water. One of my friends says, imagine you have a tray of cookies on your low back here, and we don't wanna let our hips dump. We're gonna keep them super stable. So the rotation becomes more in the upper back, and we start to really push down into the feet to stabilize. Imagine you're trying to spread your mat with your feet to feel that strength. Take one more breath. Release, come back to center. It changes everything, doesn't it? Release your left hand down. Twist, rotate. breath. Release, let it go. All right. One last big fold here. Take what you need and bring your hands to your hips, rise all the way to stand. We're gonna go ahead and turn to face the front of the mat and step the feet forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, swan dive down, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, extend your spine. Release your hands to the mat, bring them to the outer edges of your feet, and then step your right foot way back. Go ahead and drop your back knee to the floor. Inhale, rise up. Low lunge. Again, tucking your hips toward your ribs. Exhale, come into cactus arms. Inhale, lift, extend your front leg. Fold over that front leg. Toes pointing out toward the ceiling. Stacking our hips on top of the back knee. You can use blocks here if your hamstrings are real tight, or you can also just bend that knee a little bit if you need to, but you can stay here. There's so many options. As long as you're feeling it in your hamstrings, you're doing it right. Take another breath. Go ahead and shift forward. Good. Bring your hands to the mat and let's bring our knees together. Let's take 3 chaturanga push-ups here. Exhale, lower down halfway. I'm doing these for my knees, but you don't have to. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, we're gonna press. Take 1 more down halfway. Inhale, press. Go ahead and press back into child's pose. Stretch it out. Shifting forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. This time we're gonna lift our right leg up and back, and then bring it through, just get it to the front of the mat. Drop your back knee to the mat, rise up, low lunge. You should be on the other side now, because we stepped the right foot back. Now we stepped it through. Just make sure you're doing the other side. So what's important is that we get both sides. Exhale, come down halfway. Cactus arms, inhale, lift, extend, and fold. Getting into our deep flexibility here. Notice that with each exhalation, you may be able to feel a little deeper stretch. Really focusing on the stretch as you exhale. Take 1 more breath. Exhale. Good. Shift forward. Bring those hands together. Bring your knees together. Last hard thing we do in my class today. 3 chaturanga push-ups. Come down halfway. Inhale, press. Come down halfway. Inhale, press. This time, come down halfway. We're gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down to the mat. Release your hands down. And just enjoy a little bit of recovery. Like Wendy. All right, we're gonna bring our hands back. Go ahead and bring your left forearm in line with the front of the mat. We're gonna reach back, grab our right foot with our right hand. If you can reach it, if you can't, just bend your right leg. You're gonna feel that in your quads. You can also use a strap to hold on to your foot. Notice the breath. Keep coming back to the breath. It's your anchor. It's always there. Take 1 more. And when you're ready, release that foot. Switch sides. Bring your right forearm in line with the front of the mat. Reach back. Grab your left foot. Hold. Heel toward the glute. To engage more. To stretch more through your quads. Squeeze your glutes. Tighten your butt. You'll feel it more. Take 1 more breath. Release. Good. 1 time, reach back. Grab both feet if you can. And then we're gonna lift off into our bow pose, pressing your feet into your hands, opening through the chest. Take 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Bring your hands next to your chest. Press all the way back into our wide leg child's pose. Back to where we started. rise on up to take a seat. We're gonna shift our weight onto our hips and make our way into a seated position, where we're gonna finish our class today on our back. The rest of this class is about recovery. Hard work's over. Go ahead and bring your weight back onto your hands, bring your feet to the edges of the mat, and we're just gonna windshield wiper the knees from the left to the right side of the mat. Left, all the way back to the right. And then come back to center. Shifting your weight back, finding balance. We're gonna make our way to the floor. Option to come through some core work here if you want. This is all optional. Lower down into canoe pose, and then plant your feet. Release all the way back. Bring your feet again to the outer edges of the mat. Knees fall to the left side, and then all the way back across to the right side. Come back to the left, and then to the right. Come back to center. Go ahead and lift your knees like you're in a reverse tabletop. And we're gonna cross the right leg over the left. Wrap your hands around the left thigh. Maybe extending your left leg for our supine pigeon. Take another breath. Go ahead and bring your left foot back into that tabletop. Bring the right leg, cross the left over the top of your thigh. Reach your hands around your right leg. Just taking a little time here, pigeon pose. And extend the right leg up. And release it down. Go ahead and release your right foot. Release your left foot to the floor. Pressing down into your feet, lift the hips off the floor. We'll take one bridge pose. In bridge pose, I like to imagine all of my stress, all the stuff that's going on that is beyond my control in the hips. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make everything super tight in your hips. Take a deep breath in. And when you exhale, you're gonna set it all down and let all of that stress just dissipate and release into your mat, into your floor, into the universe. Extend your legs. And just close your eyes if you can. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. Start to just notice the floor, your points of contact. Feel where you are being supported by the ground underneath you. Notice the rise and fall of your belly, particularly at the area of the belly. Sorry, rise and fall of your breath at the area of your belly. Just feel the inhalations and exhalations flowing through you. You don't have to control your breathing anymore. Just let it breathe, let your body breathe. Just take this time to soak in all the benefits of your practice today. Take some time to express some gratitude to yourself for showing up, for spending time on your practice, for spending some time on yourself today. When we take care of ourselves, we're so much better for those that we love. We're so much more effective at the things we need to do. When you're ready, go ahead and make your way to a sideline position. And if you're ending class with me, make your way up to a seat. And that is our class for today. Thank y'all so much for taking time out to participate. I'm going to stop our recording. I have a couple of announcements to make.